Hello, everybody. Elida Zweidler-McKay with Engaging Leadership. I'm here to talk to you today about how to be an engaging leader, and that includes engaging the people on your team as well as engaging the leadership in your organization so that you can have the kind of work-life balance that you want, the kind of career success that you want, the opportunities that should be available to you. So today we're going to talk about that upper level engagement and the idea of kind of managing up. So I hear from people all the time, right now, everybody seems to be so completely overloaded. There's so much going on, so much work to do, so many challenges people are facing. And, on top of all the work dynamics, there's also so much that people are juggling at home. So it makes sense that people are really feeling swamped. And what that's translating into, at least in what I'm hearing, are some complaints about the boss. Things like, I told him I needed to be out so I could help my kid with their online school this morning, and they still sent me all these emails. Or, doesn't she understand the kind of pressure I'm under? Why is she asking me to do one more thing? Or, he knows I'm really focused on this other project, so why is he coming to me with this new assignment when I've already got all this other stuff to do? And it just can feel so completely overwhelming, and like the boss doesn't care at all. They keep asking you to do more and more and more until it feels like you can't breathe, like you can't get ahead of it, and eventually leads to burnout if you're trying to keep up with it, or you just end up quitting because there's just too much to do. I want to suggest to you today, here's the truth. I'll bet that at least half the time your boss actually doesn't know everything that's on your plate. Even if you've told them, that you're planning to take some time off, or that Tuesday is your day to take the kids to school, so you're going to come in late. My guess is that half the time that's not going to register for them, and they're not going to remember. They're not aware of what all is on your plate. Even if they gave you those assignments, they're not going to know how much time a particular assignment is going to take. It's been a while probably since your boss did the work, if they ever did it at your level. So they may not know that report that they asked you for is actually going to take you, hours and hours of pulling together 3 different databases and working with people across 2 different departments. So, the reality is, maybe your boss should know these things, and that's certainly a position that you could take, but they don't. They are also juggling a million different things. They're having a hard time keeping up with their own calendar. They have their own personal responsibilities. Since they're not in the day-to-day work, they're not seeing it at the ground level the way you are. And what that means is that if you want to have any hope of getting the kind of reasonable workload or work-life balance, or even just the opportunity to do your work successfully, you've got to get really good at working in partnership with your boss, where you're helping them see the world from your point of view. You're engaging them in priority setting and problem solving, helping them make choices with you about where to focus your time and energy. And you're reminding them of your other commitments and the implications for them of the things that you're focused on and that you're spending your time on, and why you made those choices. Now, obviously, the way you do this will make a huge difference in how successful it is. There's a huge risk that if you do this badly, you can come across as negative or complaining or unhelpful, or someone who's not willing to roll up their sleeves and pitch in. And we know that's not true. So figuring out exactly how to do this is going to be one of the most important things you can do in your career. You need to have an approach that's calm and inviting and confident, something that I call having a solid internal executive presence. You need to know your boss's style and how they are likely to take in information and what's important for them to hear, so that you can really approach them in a way that's going to work for them. And you need to be strategic. You need to bring your own suggestions for how to solve the problem, or how to prioritize, or what an alternative to that crazy report might look like. That's where the metaphor of partnership can be so helpful, because when we think in terms of partnership, we get out of that kind of one up, one down sort of thinking, right? So often when we're working with somebody else, we can go to this one down place of, they're the boss, they need to know this, they need to tell me what to do. Sure, again, that might be true, but thinking that way is going to keep you stuck, I promise. The other place that we go one up or one down is we get superior, and we think they ought to know, it's their job. How come I have to? Either place, whether you're going to, I just have to do what the boss tells me to do, or how come the boss doesn't know any better? Either one of those ways of thinking is going to contribute to you staying stuck. So the work is to come out of those stories and really come into partnership where you do see it as your responsibility to help your boss help you. Um, where you're really putting in the time and the energy to come to a shared view and agreement about what are your criteria for success? What is success going to look like? What are the priorities? Where should you focus your time and energy? And how can you use that precious, precious resource of you and your time the most effectively in the organization to meet the broader goals of the team and the organization as a whole? When you're able to have the tools and the skills and the confidence to really step into that partnership with your boss and create that kind of relationship, navigating whatever their style is, whatever their concerns are, whatever their personal quirks are, when you're able to work through that and come into partnership with other people, especially your boss, that's going to be one of the key success factors in your career. Because when you can go there, you can put yourself into the driver's seat where you're able to have a work load that is actually doable, where you can shine and be successful and focus on the kinds of activities that really make use of your talents and skills instead of just being a taker of what everybody else is telling you to do. If that's something that you'd like to develop for yourself, something you'd like to learn a little bit more about, let's talk. We can get on the phone for about 45 minutes and talk about where you are now in your work and where you might need to develop some of these partnership skills. And if I can help you get there, we'll talk about what that could look like. If I'm not the right fit, I'll point you to somebody who is. So book a call now at zmcoach.net/call. I look forward to talking to you. Take care.